Hey, I'm Drolix, and today I'll be roasting my old animation memes. Now this is what we're dealing with. Garbage. The shading fluctuates all over the place. Airbrushing is just not a good idea for animating. How could I not even pick colors correctly? The markings literally change shades, and the background is so lazy with just random shapes. Granted, I didn't know how to animate backgrounds at the time, but I could have at least done better than that. I actually got a critique on the video saying that the shading ruins the animation and that it looks like a complete and utter pile of shit. They worded it in a much more polite way than that though. There's a pretty big jump in art style for this one. I think I posted the first video and didn't make another until a year later. I don't understand how, but this video got 1,000 views when I originally posted it back in 2018. Not sure what possessed anyone to click this abomination. Clearly I still had a problem with airbrushing, but at least I toned it down a bit. I don't really have much to say about this one, but there are some errors I notice. There's one frame where a spike on the collar isn't even colored in. So, this is a direct remake of the last one. It's newer compared to the other animations in this video, but I wanted to show it after the original for comparison. The remake didn't really change too much compared to the old one, other than art style of course. I tried to make it more interesting by adding some hand poses. I think it's a nice detail, but I still feel I could have added a lot more to it and made it more different than the original. It's definitely an improvement, I can at least admit that. Although I actually kind of like the old one more, but that might just be nostalgia talking. This was for Halloween, if that wasn't completely obvious. Those pumpkins look like pieces of paper, to be honest. Which could have been cool if that's what I was going for, but sadly it wasn't. I just didn't know how to shade round objects. As for the animation, I actually attempted something more complicated. Wow, me? Put in effort? That's crazy. Aside from the anatomy being awful and the baby hand, it's actually not too bad. I've seen much worse for myself than this. Also, I can't help but notice that one sparkle that reappears and disappears. I like these stills, they're actually cute. But why does it look like he's trying to flex in this one? It doesn't even look like he's dancing. Ew. Also, if you're wondering why he has drips coming off of him, it's because this character is quite literally made of ice cream. What even is this? The animation looks so strange. I was trying to do a bouncing effect, but his head just stays in place while his chin moves up and down. It makes no sense. The way I animated his eyes make them look like they're bulging out of his head, and everything else just kind of wiggles? I can barely even think of words to describe it, that's how bad it is. I do like the effect of it slowing down at the end though. I still like this one, it's probably my favorite out of the animations in this video. But if you thought I'd run out of things to roast when it comes to my old art, you'd be wrong. This animation is out of sync, and that problem is prevalent throughout the whole meme. And those hands, the fingers are so thin, they remind me of spider legs. My inspiration for this was Wolfie, so I basically copied all the poses she did for her version. Nowadays I try to use multiple memes as inspiration and combine them to make it slightly more original. There's still some gradients in the hair that fluctuate, but other than that I think this animation is pretty decent considering, which is a miracle. This is the last one, and then I basically gave up posting to that channel. It's also really short, so I actually slowed it down a bit. This one was super lazy, I just tweened the ears and eyes. Honestly, I don't really understand why people use laziness as a way to insult animators. Not everything has to have a crazy amount of effort to be good. If I want to make something simple, then I'm going to. But I do think I could have put in a bit more effort into this one, but that's just my own standards. Overall, this one is not too bad, it's cute. So there's actually one more video I want to show. This video was actually posted to this channel, but I decided to unlist it. Why? Because I hate it with a burning passion. My old art over the past couple years had this problem that I like to call long head syndrome.
Look at this dude. No, no, no. Ah, look at the top of his head.
Yeah, it's terrible. How did I think this looked okay? I'm going to throw up. It's so bad. I can't, dude. I straight up hate this even more than the old ones. And that's all I have for now. Roasting aside, I am proud of how far I've come, and while these old animations may not be the best, it's nice to look back on them and see how much progress I've made. Looking at your old art can be a really good way to see improvement. This video is all jokes, and I'd never treat another artist like this. Being an asshole is only acceptable when it's directed at myself. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you'd like to see any of these animations remade.